Afternoon, everybody.
What's up?
My name is Keith Rocky Pratt, and I'm proud to be standing in front of you guys, without question. Curtis, first of all, if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be here. You're the founder and the president, and that makes it all possible. Being in the group, a lot of people don't understand. I was on the fence. I was a juvenile delinquent. There's a lot of things that I did bad in my life, but the one thing I did good was at least make an attempt to make it better. And for that, I owe the Guardian Angels a big debt. Can you hear me?
No. Now we can.
I do have a loud voice.
Yes. Use it.
Thank you. Anyway, you guys are like the finest of the finest, the volunteers. There's no question that anybody puts their life on the line for their community, and people that basically don't even know and you want to help. What else can you say about that? That says it all right there. I wrote notes. I'm not a great public speaker, but I can speak well if we're amongst each other. Patrolling yesterday reminded me of New York City. I was active also many years in the 90s and Fort Apache in Manhattan. And anybody knows about crack. Crack came out in '86 big time. And we used to have this poster. It said crack down on crack, and then it had the phone number. And I have that in my scrapbook. But I saw that scrapbook yesterday going through the Tenderloin. The Mission District, yeah, that was nice. I mean, they had nice bathrooms that didn't work. But what can I tell you? The Tenderloin brought it back to me 100%. I've never seen so many intravenous drug users in my life. And I applaud you guys. You guys definitely have to work it out, no doubt. I didn't get out to Oakland, but I heard Oakland is right there too. They'll let you go in, but you got to pay $5 to get out. I don't understand that. As bad as it is, they should be giving you money to get out of there. But I did join in October 1980. A kid named Nelson from Hell's Kitchen, another convert. He brought me up to the headquarters and introduced me to Curtis and the guys in the headquarters. I think Valentine did my interview. I think he did. Back then, the group was just filling its way out of a lot of how things should be done. How patrols were run, how the training should go, because a lot of people had a lot of ideas, and somehow we managed to make it work. We didn't have a big budget. I think we lived on Coca-Cola, pizza, and spaghetti. That was our PC bag back then. But the guys were very dedicated. A lot of them were rough around the edges, but those were the guys who were attracted to the group in the beginning. But they had the right heart. They had the right heart. They were street smart kids for the most part, but they were there, step in step. I mean, we would patrol 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. Had nothing to do, we would just go out and patrol. We loved it. And because of that, because of the interaction with the community, the idea grew, and the people started catching on. It's not the people that read the newspapers that caught on, it was the people in the community that caught on. The people we interacted with on the subways and the street patrols. I'm moving along here. I've handled a lot of tasks in the group. I probably held just about every job that there is to hold, just about. Trained a lot of chapters, started a few chapters. I've traveled to different chapters to try to assist them in their endeavors. But the proudest moment I've had so far is the current assignment I have in Connecticut. I have 30 years of experience at this point. I have a lot of wealth. There's a lot of money in my bank concerning the Guardian Angels. There's no question in my mind that I can make it better. I'm very aggressive by nature. I believe in recruiting. I believe in developing. I believe in being selfless and developing leaders. Everybody can lead. There's no one man better than another. I believe that 100%, because we're all here. If you put on that shirt and beret, you're my equal. A guy was telling me last night, I'm 9 months. Do I walk on the inside? I told him, you got 9 months, dude. You learned a lot in those 9 months. I won't patrol with you. You know, don't put me on the pedestal. It doesn't work that way. And he knows what I'm talking about. He's the video man. And I believe that. You have to encourage your younger members. You have to make it seem like you really do believe in them. And you really have to believe in them. And you train them, encourage them, never let them fall down. Always make sure they get home safe. That's the whole key. Train them to the point where they're going to get home safe. And I try to do that in my job. The greatest training I ever had was in 1990. I was 24 age, 89 and 90. And G.I. Joe said we need to start recruiting. Now, I was okay, but I wasn't a good recruiter. So he said, start hitting the training after work and start recruiting. You know the little flyers that we have? Yep. Well, not like that. No, a lot of little. Get 4 on a page. Oh, there you go. But you get 4 on a page. You cut them out. Well, he would give me a handful of those. I would go up in the subway and just constantly talk to people, day in and day out, day in and day out. I knew the odds were against me because for every 100 flyers you hand out, every maybe 50 people you actually talk to, maybe 4 or 5 might call. Maybe 2 might come down. Those are the kind of odds you work for. But if you're consistent all the time, the results will come in. So I learned about consistency concerning recruiting. And I started developing a strategy with it. And it has to almost be like a game. You have to enjoy talking to people to do it. But if you don't, a little push, encouraging your membership to do it, then they become really good at it. And usually, it's the guys that you never think might be a good recruiter, they're a diamond in your life, because you push them a little bit. And I want to encourage all my members to be able to do something and feel important, like they're coming down to do something and contribute. Because if they just feel like they're going to post up every night and not do anything and not contribute, they might not want to. So you have to create an atmosphere where they're going to feel good about coming down. You know, one guy, he didn't think he was really good at anything, so I made him the radio guy. And he had a heavy Latin accent. But guess what? He did the best he could. He was my radio guy. Did it matter that we might not understand every word he says? Maybe. But the fact is, he really feels like he's doing his job. And he's better for it, and he's trying harder about speaking English because of it. So I accomplished something. The whole thing that being in the group, knowing that I contribute, knowing that I have a wealth to give to you guys. The same goes for all you veterans. Now, it's a word I came to understand. My father's a veteran, but of a war. But we're all veterans too. Every single one of us put our lives on the line every single night going on the truck. And the more time you put in, you become a veteran. So when you're saying you have to be on mothballs and retire and become an alumni, you always have something to do. You might, like Curtis said, disappear for a while, stay in contact with the group. I never felt included being an alumni because I was in the actual alumni group. I wanted to go on the show. And the bottom line was I had to stay in the alumni and fulfill their obligations. Once the opportunity came up, I knew I was going to be back on the streets. That's where I belong. So I like to call you guys veterans because that's more fitting for what we're doing. And I encourage them to be proactive. You know, all the guys in the group, And you might feel like, oh, what can he do? He can do a lot. He can help you with training. You might not want to go out on patrol all the time, but he can stand by your newer recruits and teach them. You know, you might be the good interviewer, you know, to find out about the recruits before they put them in shirt and beret. There's a lot of uses you can use a veteran guarded agent. A lot of times they might feel like, well, I'm not going to be allowed to patrol, but if you tell them, dude, you can come down, but you might make it twice a month. That's good enough for me. And they slowly like it again. When you have a guy that gives you a wealth of information in the bank, come back to you. I think I covered it all. I didn't want to take a lot of time, because like I said, I'm not a really big speaker. But, my volume is out there, I show by example. I will do patrol with any one of you, anywhere, anytime, I know that. And that's where I stand. You know? I don't wear a rank. I believe in leadership. I believe in structure. But personally, the rank that I give is because I'm going to train you, I'm going to help you along. That's the only rank I need. Because I know I'm going to make you a better technician. I appreciate that.
Hey, Rocky!
Okay.
Rocky! Is that a question for Rocco? No, it's all right. It's all right.
Ask
No,
it.
it's okay. No, forgive it.
He wants to ask you a question.
He wants to be in another poster?
Yes.
Okay, we have two more presentations before we go into our